1998. Cascade Beach near Sydney, Australia. The expansive golden sands and the vast blue waters were always alive with activity. Surfers from various parts of the country and international enthusiasts frequently visited Cascade, making it a renowned spot for wave riders. Among them was Jack Dawson, a local who had become one with the waves of Cascade. With a deep tan, lean athletic build, and an inherent understanding of the ocean, he was a well-recognized figure among the surf community. One morning, as the sun rose, casting a golden hue on the waters, Jack was on the beach, preparing for his daily dose of adrenaline. While Cascade was mostly safe, there were murmurs in the community about a shark sighting near the reef. Cautionary tales had been whispered, warnings shared, especially among the seasoned surfers. Yet the allure of the waves was irresistible. Jack took to the waters with all the confidence of his years of experience, eager to chase the thrill that only a surfer would understand. He maneuvered his board with practiced ease, riding wave after wave, feeling the cool splash against his skin and the wind in his hair. As time went on, the beach started buzzing with a different kind of energy. People were pointing towards the deeper waters, their faces masked with concern. Among them, seasoned surfers seemed particularly anxious, their experienced eyes scanning the waters with unease. The reason soon became evident to Jack. A shadow, darker than the waters around it, began to materialize not far from where he was. It was subtle at first, but the unmistakable outline of a shark fin soon sliced through the surface. Jack's heart raced. All the warnings and whispers of danger he'd heard that morning flashed through his mind. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Jack decided to retreat. Paddling with controlled urgency, he aimed for the shallows, hoping the safety of the beach was not too far away. But the ocean had one more challenge for him. As he neared the coast, an unexpected force from the depths nudged his board, causing him to wobble and fight for balance. The energy of Cascade Beach shifted drastically as spectators began to realize the imminent danger Jack faced. Hands covered mouths, eyes widened in terror, and the previously lively sounds of the beach dimmed, replaced by an anxious hush. Families pulled their children closer, and many onlookers were paralyzed, their gazes fixed on the unfolding drama. Jack's experience and instincts kicked in. Instead of panicking, he lay flat on his board, making his silhouette as small as possible. His training had taught him that erratic movements could attract or provoke sharks further. Remaining still, he hoped the creature would lose interest, considering him an unworthy or unfamiliar prey. But the shark circled closer. The silhouette of its massive body beneath the water became more distinct, revealing its size and power. Every pass it made felt like a calculated move, studying and gauging the potential of its prey. It was a dance of life and death, with each participant acutely aware of the other's presence. Suddenly, with lightning speed, the shark lunged at Jack. Its jaws snapped shut and it began to drag him down into the frigid depths. The pressure intensified, and the water threatened to collapse his chest. A man on a nearby boat watched in helpless horror, shouting for help to the onlookers, urging them to take action and call for assistance. The cries for help seemed impossibly distant as the vast expanse of the ocean threatened to swallow their pleas, and the boat's engine sputtered, unable to close the gap in time. Desperate and running out of air, Jack fought to free himself from the shark's grip. The predator responded with a frantic and violent thrashing, its powerful tail and body contorting in pain and anger as it gripped Jack. The lifeguards, who were alerted to the perilous situation, arrived at the scene, but their response was tragically late. Jack was already free from the shark's grip, tumbling through the dark, deep water. The world around him was a blur of bubbles and darkness as he tried to swim upwards. As he ascended, the water around him grew progressively lighter, and he could see the shifting patterns of the waves on the surface. But it was too late. The shark's attack had been too severe, and Jack's strength had waned. When Jack finally breached the surface, gasping for air, he was already too far gone. He managed to cling to a piece of floating debris, but life was slipping away. The ocean had claimed him, its depths swallowing him along with the defeated shark, and Jack's body soon disappeared beneath the waves, becoming one with the abyss, while the lifeguards looked on in stunned disbelief, regretting their late arrival. The incident of Jack's passing sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community, and the visitors of Cascade Beach. The news of the tragic event rippled through the beachgoers and residents, leaving a sense of sorrow and collective grief. The lifeguards were left haunted by a profound sense of responsibility, questioning if they could have done more to prevent the tragedy. They vowed to enhance their efforts in educating and safeguarding beachgoers, and the entire community rallied behind them. The incident prompted a series of safety meetings and discussions within the community, increasing awareness of the importance of adhering to safety protocols and being vigilant about potential dangers at the beach. Once known for its carefree atmosphere, Cascade Beach became a place where safety and vigilance were paramount. Jack's passing left a void in the hearts of those who knew him and even those who didn't. His memory became a symbol of the fragility of human life in the face of the unrelenting ocean. Cascade Beach, once a place of joy and laughter, now held a somber tone, honoring the memory of a life lost to the depths of the sea. Mentawai Islands, Indonesia, 2007. This secluded and pristine archipelago, nestled in the Indian Ocean off the western coast of Sumatra, is a surfer's paradise. With its azure waters and consistent swells, the Mentawais draw surfing enthusiasts from all corners of the globe. Among those who ventured to these islands in the summer of 2007 was the Abdullah family from Dubai. Ahmed Abdullah, the family's eldest son at 28, was a successful entrepreneur. He had always been the adventurous one. Growing up in the opulence of Dubai, he sought thrills outside the world of business and high-rises. Surfing was his newest passion, a stark contrast to the desert dunes he was accustomed to. His family, including his younger siblings and parents, had accompanied him on this vacation. While they were not as keen on surfing as Ahmed, the beauty of the Mentawais, with its lush rainforests and vibrant marine life, enchanted them. They snorkeled, explored the islands, and basked on the white sandy beaches. Ahmed decided to try out the famed Hollow Trees surf break one morning. Known for its challenging waves and barreling tubes, it was a surf spot that promised an adrenaline rush. With his surfboard under his arm, Ahmed set out, leaving his family lounging under the shade of the beachside huts, their day planned around island exploration and local cuisine. The waves that day were exceptional, drawing in several surfers. The sun overhead, the clear blue waters, and the perfectly timed waves made it a dream scenario. Ahmed expertly navigated wave after wave, enjoying every moment of his ride. As the hours passed, his family returned to their shaded spot, sharing stories of their day and observing Ahmed from a distance. They laughed, captured memories with their camera, and planned their next days on the island. Unbeknownst to them and the other surfers, the ripples further out in the ocean indicated an undercurrent change. With it came the marine life that usually stayed in the deeper parts of the sea. Among them is the silent predator of the oceans, the shark. Ahmed noticed a change in the water's texture around him as he waited for the next perfect wave. It felt as though the sea was holding its breath. A swift and fleeting shadow darted a little distance away from him. His heart raced, recognizing the potential danger. But before he could process or act, a chill ran down his spine as he felt something brush against his leg. The shimmering turquoise waters around the Mentawai Islands usually presented a tranquil scene for Ahmed Abdullah as he surfed. On this particular day, however, the rhythmic waves and the meditative act of surfing became an arena of unexpected terror. Without warning, a powerful force seized Ahmed's leg. The searing pain was instantaneous, and before he could fully comprehend what was happening, the ocean around him was tainted with a dark shade of red. Suspended in a moment of sheer panic, Ahmed saw the unmistakable, sleek gray shape of a shark beneath him. The reality set in that he was in the middle of a shark attack. Ahmed tried to free himself from the shark's grip with all the strength he could muster, but the creature's strength was immense. The ocean's vastness and depth beneath him suddenly felt even more isolating as Ahmed fought for his life. The struggle seemed eternal, but in reality it was mere moments. Ahmed felt the shark's grip loosen, and the creature suddenly dove deeper into the sea, leaving behind a trail of turbulence. Alone with his surfboard, Ahmed was faced with another stark reality. He was injured and far from shore. His leg bore deep gashes, and the pain was excruciating. Each movement sent fresh waves of agony through him. but the need to survive overpowered the pain. Relying on adrenaline and determination, Ahmed used his arms to paddle slowly, agonizingly towards the shoreline. The journey back to land was grueling. Every movement made him acutely aware of his injuries. The salt water stung his wounds, serving as a relentless reminder of the ordeal he had just faced. The waves, once a source of joy and relaxation for Ahmed, now felt like insurmountable challenges. Eventually, after what felt like hours, Ahmed reached the shallower waters near the shore. Exhausted and pale from blood loss, he managed to drag himself onto the sandy beach. The juxtaposition was jarring. The peaceful, idyllic Mentawai beach against the backdrop of his harrowing ordeal. Locals and tourists who had been enjoying their day rushed to his aid. Quick thinking and communal spirit were displayed as individuals with basic first aid knowledge attempted to dress Ahmed's wounds to stem the bleeding. Their timely intervention was critical. An emergency call was made, and soon Ahmed was airlifted to a hospital in Padang, the capital city of West Sumatra. Doctors and nurses worked diligently, treating his wounds and stabilizing his condition. The next weeks were marked by recovery and reflection for Ahmed and his family. The beauty of the Mentawai Islands showed its unpredictable side, but it also showcased the strength of the community and the human spirit. Ahmed's story wasn't just about the shocking attack, but also about survival, resilience, and the collective strength of strangers coming together in the face of adversity. Waikiki Beach in Hawaii is world-renowned for its scenic beauty, golden sands, and crystal-clear waters. Every morning, the rising sun casts a golden hue upon the landscape, bringing a fresh promise of adventure. It was precisely this promise that drew Michael James to this paradisiacal beach. A banker from New York, Michael was in Hawaii not just for the sun and sand, but for a challenge, learning to surf. Despite having a natural athletic ability, Michael was a novice in surfing. Over the past few days, he had taken beginner lessons from local experts. With their radiant smiles, these skilled instructors not only imparted the technical skills and shared tales of respect for the ocean's power. One of the local surf instructors, Keanu, pulled Michael aside after his morning lesson on this particular day. Keanu pointed out to the far end of the beach, where the waves crashed with a mightier force, and the ocean appeared deeper and darker. He advised avoiding that part, especially since the individual was still new to the area. Keanu explained that it was known to have some unexpected undercurrents, and occasionally, a few sharks had been spotted there. With his typical city dweller's bravado, Michael nodded but didn't take the warning as seriously as he should have. The adventurer in him saw it as an exciting challenge rather than a genuine risk. After all, he reasoned, what were the odds of encountering a shark? The day wore on, and as Michael grew more confident with every wave he caught, he gradually drifted towards the forbidden part of the beach. The thrill of the ride, the salty wind in his hair, and the taste of freedom made him momentarily forget Keanu's words of caution. However, the ocean has its way of reminding us of its immense power and unpredictability. Michael noticed a peculiar shadow beneath the pristine waters as he enjoyed his newfound skills. At first, it seemed like a play of light or maybe a big fish, but as it edged closer, the unmistakable silhouette of a shark fin became evident. A rush of adrenaline and fear suddenly replaced the tranquility of the morning. Every stroke he took towards the shore seemed inadequate as he realized he was in a race against nature. The serene Waikiki, with its inviting waves, now posed a threat that Michael had never anticipated. Would the lessons, the warnings, and his instincts be enough to guide him safely back to the shore? The sands of time were rapidly slipping, and every second counted. As Michael steadily paddled, the silhouette beneath the crystal-clear Hawaiian waters became more distinct. The immediate realization that a shark was closing in sent a surge of adrenaline through him. Though panic tried to claw its way into his mind, he remembered the basic rule when faced with such danger: stay calm. However, Mother Nature had a different plan. The waves, initially serene and friendly, started pushing Michael unpredictably. He would progress a little towards the shore, only to be pulled back deeper. The stark contrast of the blissful atmosphere on the beach and Michael's dire predicament was heart-wrenching. Soon, the shark's dorsal fin surfaced closer to him, signaling its approach. The fin sliced through the water seamlessly, emphasizing the imminent danger. Unbeknownst to the beachgoers at a distance, a grave dance of survival was playing out. Suddenly, with a burst of speed, the shark made its move, coming in from the side. Michael felt a sharp pain as the creature's teeth grazed his leg. The brief yet harrowing contact filled the surrounding water with a reddish hue. Pushed by sheer adrenaline and willpower, Michael moved swiftly, diverting the shark's attention for a crucial moment. The shark, possibly confused by the abrupt motion, circled back for a clearer assessment. This brief moment was all Michael needed. He propelled himself towards the shallow waters with all the strength he could muster. Every stroke, every breath was a testament to his will to survive. The depth of the waters soon became too shallow for the shark's liking, and it hesitated. Michael didn't pause to look back, driven by the instinct to reach safety. He finally stumbled into the shallows, the soft sands under his feet feeling like the most reassuring touch he had ever known. Days later, as Michael recounted the incident to his friends and family, it wasn't the fear or the pain that stood out. It was the profound respect he'd gained for the ocean's inhabitants and their domain. While the scars on his leg would eventually fade, the lesson he learned in those turbulent waters would stay with him forever. Zenith Bay, South Africa, 2005. A world-renowned surfing destination, the place was famous for its perfect right-hand point breaks and the camaraderie among the surfers who rode it. Nestled between large dunes in the Indian Ocean, Zenith Bay had always struck a balance between beauty and danger. While the waves were legendary, so were the tales of sharks that inhabited these waters. Fresh from Toronto, Ethan Lewis was a new addition to the regulars at Zenith Bay. Ethan was an embodiment of youthful adventure with a physique sculpted by years of surfing and a distinct maple leaf tattoo on his shoulder. Though an outsider, he quickly became popular in the tight-knit community, thanks to his infectious enthusiasm and genuine respect for local customs. On what began as an idyllic morning, Ethan, along with some newfound friends, headed towards a surf spot. The majestic waves formed perfect barrels, and the sea shimmered under the African sun. As they prepped their boards, the chatter was all about the thrill of the ride, with seasoned surfers sharing tips with the novices. As hours passed, Ethan felt more connected to the waves. He could sense their rhythm, anticipate their moves, and dance on his board as if he'd been doing it for a lifetime. But as the tide shifted, so did the mood. Lizo, a local surfer, noticed a change in the seabirds' behavior. Instead of diving for fish, they circled restlessly above a particular spot. After finishing an exhilarating ride, Ethan was unaware of the birds or the concerned glances exchanged among the group. The thrill of the waves was all-consuming. But as he paddled to rejoin the lineup, a fleeting shadow beneath the water caught his attention. There was no mistaking the sleek form of the great white shark, its dorsal fin slicing through the water. Though Ethan had been briefed about the possibility of shark encounters, facing one was a whole different ballgame. He recalled the primary advice: stay calm and avoid any sudden movements. While the shark's presence was a clear threat, Ethan hoped it was just passing through, driven by curiosity. But the distance to the shore seemed longer than ever. The once inviting waves now felt like barriers between him and safety. On the shore, the group's banter and laughter were replaced by anxious murmurs. Lizo's sharp eyes, trained from years of surfing in these waters, closely watched Ethan's progress. The circling birds clearly indicated the shark's presence, and he knew the danger it posed. Ethan's every stroke seemed amplified in the vast ocean expanse. His heart pounded loudly in his ears, and the salty sting of the water blurred his vision momentarily. He recalled tales from old-timers about encounters with sharks, their advice always emphasizing the need to maintain a steady pace and avoid showing panic. As Ethan cautiously moved, the shark's sleek silhouette came into clearer view. It circled a few meters away, displaying its majestic and terrifying form. Its dark eyes seemed to study him, making Ethan feel like prey being assessed by a predator. He remembered reading about how sharks, especially the great white, often bumped their potential prey before deciding on an attack. The very thought sent chills down his spine. On the beach, the surfers had sprung into action. Lizo and a few others dove into the water with their boards, forming a protective ring around Ethan. The idea was to present a larger, more intimidating shape to deter the shark. While the tactic was no guaranteed deterrent, it was the best chance they had. However, nature often has its own plans. The shark, perhaps feeling cornered or sensing a potential meal, decided to make its move. With a burst of speed, it lunged towards Ethan, its massive jaws open. Ethan tried to use his board as a shield, positioning it between him and the advancing predator. The powerful creature collided with Ethan's board, snapping it in half. The force of the impact sent Ethan tumbling into the water, disoriented. But the board had done its job. It took the brunt of the shark's bite, preventing any direct contact with Ethan. The shark momentarily retreated, possibly confused by the broken board and the taste of fiberglass. Using this brief respite, Lizo and the others quickly surrounded Ethan, guiding him towards the shore. Their unified front, combined with the aggressive splashing and the absence of easy prey, discouraged the shark from launching another attack. The group finally reached the shore, their relief palpable. Ethan, still in shock, found himself surrounded by worried faces. He was quickly examined for injuries, and apart from a few minor scrapes and bruises, he was unharmed. The broken board was a testament to the close call and the life-saving barrier it had provided. The experience served as a somber reminder of the unpredictability of nature and the inherent risks of their beloved sport. While the ocean's mysteries were part of the allure for many, respecting and understanding its inhabitants was essential. Ethan, deeply impacted by the incident, decided to stay in Zenith Bay longer. The brush with danger didn't deter his passion for surfing, but it instilled a profound respect for the ocean and its residents.